everyone. This is Teresa and
Tristan,
and we are the mother-daughter hosts of O Podcast, as we get to talk about things that will make you say, "Oh!" as we love to shift perspective with having life-giving conversations as a mother-daughter duo.
So keep driving, have a seat, or even do your everyday routines while you listen, and let's talk. We are so grateful you're here. I know, that's what I'm saying. Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our... Don't do that. Back to life. Back to reality. Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our podcast. Today it is episode 40.
Oh my gosh.
We're so excited that y'all are joining us today.
Yes.
And Merry Christmas, y'all.
We came, we saw, we jingled.
We're wearing our Christmas PJs if you're not watching us on our video podcast.
Yes.
And we're just getting in the mood.
Yeah, we're getting in the mood. Now, this is crazy. So, two things. Mm-hmm. The first thing is, in the middle of this episode, we are going to announce a surprise, okay? And so make sure you tune in. And secondly, we want to share a quick story. And it's just a summary. It's going to be a quick episode today, but we want to celebrate our episode 40 with you. We want to say thank you for tuning in to O, because you're definitely going to say, "Oh," for sure.
She had to go there.
I did. Okay, so today we were driving to a popular store, and as we were going into the parking lot, I have this random thought in which I say out loud. And she's used to me. So I'm just like, driving. I would like to see a lady today with a hijab. And she goes, "What?"
It's very random,
very
specific, and there was
Yeah.
like no one around, so it wasn't like something like sparked her mind to say that.
It was the weirdest.
It was like just the weirdest thing. I was like, "Okay, mama,"
and then we just kept driving, right?
Yeah, we just
and it was
pulled
like
in
it was just like again a
just
passing
thought that she
spoken
said
out loud, and she was like, "Okay, Mom," and so we, get in to the store. We're doing our thing. We're probably in there for a good hour and a half. Mm-hmm. And, some things were happening in there where we were just getting like these revelations. Like you were like, we're passing by people and we'll never see them again. It's like you're in this scene of a movie and oh my gosh.
You're seeing all these lives in front of you. Like every person that was in that store has a life, and they have a story, and they have struggles that they're going with. They have thoughts and doubts and questions, and they have families. They have situations within those families, and they got friends. They have work. They have all these things that like connect you.
Yes,
and it's like, whoa, I have my own life in my own circle of everyone, my family, my friends.
Yeah.
And so do they. It's just crazy to me.
Crazy.
And how the Lord knows all of them and knows all of their stories, knows their past, knows their struggles. That's why, us who have the Spirit of God within us, He's asking for us to allow Him to work through us for those people that do have that. That way He can touch them through us. That's we're Christ followers.
I just wanted to get in. I wanted to get out. I wanted to get the stocking stuffers done. And you out loud. So I have an out loud moment in the car. You have an out loud moment in Target.
Mine made sense.
No, yours definitely made sense. And it was just that awing moment. We're literally walking through and just people are whizzing by and we're like, oh my God, we may never see them again.
Like, I wanted to be friends with some of them.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to get to know them. Like, I wanted to pull them. I'm like, how do you get to know someone? Like, pull them aside and be like, hi, I really want to know who you are. Like, tell me all about your life. Tell me nobody's going to be open like that. I mean, some people are, but not everyone. And it's just like, it was just such a moment where it was like, forget all this stuff. This doesn't matter. Like, oh my gosh. You see them,
people.
Lord. Like, it was almost like the Lord gave us His eyes to see in that moment.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It was really beautiful, but it also broke my heart in a weird way because it was like, I don't get to know them.
Yeah.
It was sad. And I'm never like that. If anybody knows me, knows I'm like, man, it's all good. Really? Arm's length. Thank you very much.
Totally.
You know?
But yet you do have such a compassionate heart. But it was so cool, though, to see the Holy Spirit literally operating in you in that moment, because it even awakened me. Like, what am I doing?
None of this matters.
Yes. I'm like getting distracted by the distractions, you know? And he divinely distracted us for a moment, yet again, with his love.
Being aware.
Yes. And I mean, I remember you even saying, some of these people may not live for long, you know, like...
I know.
Like...
That's a little dark, but...
I know it, but still, it's like, some of them may live a long
life.
Life
is but a vapor.
Yes.
Here one moment and gone the next.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, we finally
Be intentional today, sorry.
Yes. No, really.
Every day.
Especially during the Christmas season.
Yes.
We get so stressed out about, oh my gosh, we're going to go to, you know, I don't know about you, but...
We were overhearing some people with their family drama.
We were.
They're like, I like going to your family's house every year, but just sometimes this. And she's like, I get it, I know. Yeah, it was like, oh...
It was so funny.
Yeah.
So with that, we leave and we get in the car, and you guys, I'm just gonna, this is confession. Okay, confession time. I'm in the car and I see, this is so bad. I see this woman with children, like with a sign, and
it's in an area where,
I mean,
where we are, they don't do that. No, you don't see people that do that. Where we're at, normally if you go near the city, you'll start seeing that, but not where.
I mean, literally in the parking lot.
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
Yeah,
ever.
By the entrance where it's really busy.
Yeah,
and so I literally beelined it the opposite direction.
I didn't know this.
What?
I didn't know that you did that on purpose.
Oh yeah, I did,
and I called it out.
Yes, I know. So all of a sudden she says, Mom, what did you say?
I said, Mom. I said, isn't that the lady that you said that you wanted to see? Like, she has a hijab.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, she has a hijab.
Did you know that when you beelined it?
No, I didn't even put the two. I was just like, oh my gosh, more people begging.
And I was on my phone during this time. But, like, for some reason, I just, like, glanced up, and I just so happened to see her right when I glanced up. So it was like, whoa, perfect timing moment, because obviously you didn't see that, and you beelined it.
Yeah.
And if I wasn't paying attention, we would have passed her.
Yes. So please, I know you'll probably be very disappointed in me, in my confession, but I'm just being very real.
But you turned right back around.
Oh, I did.
As soon as I said that, though, you, like, I don't know where you got the money from, but it was like, bing! It was like the Lord just popped a bill in your hand, and I was like, oh, okay.
No, it was crazy, because when she said, Mom, didn't you say you wanted to see a woman with a hijab? And I'm like, oh my gosh, and I literally, like, U-turned it in the parking lot and darted right for it, grabbed my wallet, and I'm just like...
And for, like, even though I said that in the moment, and, like, I'll be transparent, you know, as well... I'm always apprehensive with giving money to people like that, because I've just heard of cases where it wasn't what it really was, and like people it's almost like a prostitution in a way, where they have to hand the money off to somebody that provides food and shelter for them, and they have to go out though and hold a sign and pretend that they are that
homeless.
And so I know that's sad, but that's the world we live in. And so for me, I was always just very apprehensive of giving money. I mean, I'd give something else, but never cash.
Right.
But it was like, in that moment, I had that like thought, like, oh, don't give her the money. But, because she had kids out there, and they were sitting in strollers, and it just, that stuff kind of like, oh, I don't like that.
Yeah.
But,
like, for us, it's...
But
how do you explain that? Like, I feel like, oh, don't use your children.
Well, it felt like bait.
Yeah,
anyway.
exactly.
And of course, like, if somebody had an animal out there, people would feel the same way.
Right.
You know, so...
but in that moment...
if you don't, then
listen. But in that moment, all of that went away.
No, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, and I had the peace that came over me, and that's when I said, because, you know, she was on my side of the door when you pulled up, so I was like, give me the money.
Yeah.
And normally I'm like, don't do that, Mom, don't do that.
Yeah.
And I'm always like that to her. But as soon as we gave it to her, it just felt peaceful. Like and then when we rolled down the window and when we left, I told Mom, I was like, you know what? It was our obedience. No matter what she does with the money, like I pray over, we blessed it, obviously, and blessed her as we were handing it to her. Mm-hmm. But I said, you know what? It's just the act of obedience, and the Lord blesses that. So it doesn't matter. We don't have to monitor and wonder, where's she taking that money? What is it going to go to? Right. All this stuff.
And we prayed over it before we gave it to her. And what matters is,
you know what? We were obedient to that. You spoke a random, or we thought was random, quote unquote, thought out loud. It was the Lord that just like pushed that thought out of you. Yes. Because you wouldn't have been aware of it. It would have been a passing thought probably in your mind.
It literally, and you would be like,
yes. You know?
It blurred out, didn't it?
It was literally like the randomest thing.
Huh. I want to see someone today with a hijab.
And again, this is what's the crazy part. We never see people that do that here. You know what I mean? Like,
it's very, 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 very seldom.
That. And the fact that not only was she there, but she was detailed in what you called out is like insane. And that's why we have the peace, because we were already preparing. We were already prepared.
Because God knew I was going to...
No, yes. And we were already prepared mentally.
Oh my gosh.
So we couldn't have run away from that. And if we did, that's disobedience. Yes. So no matter what the outcome, it doesn't matter. You just be obedient to that call. No matter what it is. And it doesn't, because for me, he knows how I am. I'm not about that. Yeah. You know me. I'm like, Mom, don't do that. And I've always been that way.
I'm the one that's like, oh, gosh, just give him a ride.
Unfortunately, I'm like that.
No, but I think it's wisdom, too,
But, like, this time was so different that I haven't felt in a long time in that peace.
It was supernatural peace. Like angels were surrounding us. It was easy. Yes. And it all made sense. Like any other time, like I'll still give money, when I feel prompted to. Sure. It doesn't mean I have that peace that we had today. But man, today, you'll know. Yeah, it was so... Because I'm telling you right now, let's just say this. Let's just be very clear. When God calls you to obey, you're not always going to feel the peace.
Oh, no.
Right? But today... We just happen to feel it, like the tangible peace of God.
He knows how to handle us, and he knows how to teach us to obey in a way, but ultimately it's our decision to say yes or not.
Story, we wanted to tell that to you because you never know what God is going to ask us to do. Those moments in our lives where we just have to know. You're just going to know there's a quickening in your spirit to just go do it. Even if it doesn't make sense. Even if every other time you haven't done it before. Every other time you're like, nope, I'm not doing it because of what happened last time. Or I'm not doing it because I just don't do things like that. Mm-hmm. But if he says do it, you're going to know. It's just, there's something so peaceful about the Father.
It's also a burning, though, in an urgency when that happens.
Yeah. I literally had a Jonah moment for a second. Like, I'm seeing that, and I literally go, right, and then you're like, Mom, isn't that the lady that you said you wanted to see? Which it wasn't a specific lady, but she's seeing this lady with a hijab, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like that word came back and turned around and went right over there. That is the coolest thing, and that you had no idea that as you spoke it, you were actually holding me accountable to what I said I wanted to see. It's like, what? So, okay. Sorry, that was just a really cool story. It may not at all intrigue you, and it may intrigue you, but we wanted to share that today.
I think the principle of that whole story, if somebody is trying to put it all together into one like sentence or something, is really that story is an example of just we're like knowing that the Lord wants to equip you before sending you out. And also, though, overall, it's being obedient no matter what, like you said, no matter what the cost is, even. Because none of it matters. What matters is, okay, the Lord called me to do something, and it's outrageous, or it's something that I wouldn't normally do, but you know what? I'm gonna do it. Because what's the worst that could happen? Truly, what is the worst that could happen? The person rejects it? Okay, moving on. You know, not allowing that to create an offense and being like, well, never doing that again.
Yeah.
And, because, you know, when we do that, we rob ourselves from the Lord trying to encourage us or to bless us. And, like, no, what are you doing? I want, like, this is just an act of obedience. It's not always going to be the result you want it to be.
Right.
And that's what I've learned, is I thought that being obedient meant that I would get it my way.
Yes.
And I would get the blessing.
Absolutely. Sometimes when we obey.
That's not how it works.
And sometimes he may say, go tell that person, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
And we think, oh, yay, he's going to have us go say it.
And
then they're going to be like, oh my God, thank you. Well, what if we do it? And they're like, who the freak are you? You just have to know that you were obedient.
Yeah.
You're obedient.
Planting a seed.
Yes. The results have nothing to do with obedience. Now, it's cool when the results line up with our obedience. That's fun because it makes us want to do it more. But there are going to be moments, more than you'd like, when it doesn't line up at all.
Well, I think it's too, like we always say, I feel like we say this a lot, that it's not about us.
Yeah.
It's never one-sided.
Yes.
It's always for both. It's for the benefit of all.
Yes.
It's not just the benefit of one person. It's encouragement for all of us and learning for all of us. And it's like, he loves us so much. He's that loving, gracious Father that he wants us to learn from it too.
Right.
Like, he wants us to gain that benefit of not what we think a benefit is. Because the benefit sometimes is, you know, gaining that strength and gaining that mental...
Of who he is. Like,
yeah,
gaining that knowledge
because
of,
sometimes
oh my
we think,
God,
like,
you're
the benefit
amazing,
is the blessing.
God. Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
Because that's what our mind's been trained to believe.
Yeah.
In
We're
society.
always thinking about trophies and
me.
Yes. Like, what do I get out of this? If I get something out of it, then I'll do it.
Yeah.
And God's retraining us.
Yes, he is.
You know, this is a totally different kingdom that we're living in. That this kingdom is not about flesh. Mm-hmm. Every time our flesh gets hurt, ego gets hurt, rejoice because your flesh is dying.
Yes, it's that
salt.
That
is what we have to remember.
Yes.
Is that better decay while our spirit is alive. Yeah,
we rejoice in that because we know that we're getting stronger in Christ, getting better together.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Selena,
I didn't mean
did you hear
to
that?
do that. I meant
did you hear that, Selena? Better together, okay? There are moments in our life where God is calling us to come up higher in Him. And I literally turned my car around because I was going to be inconvenienced at a stop sign, knowing that this person is begging for money, and I'm going to act like I don't see them. Like, this is me. This is me being very vulnerable and very transparent. Do I like to give? Absolutely. Do I have my moments where I'm obedient? Absolutely. But today, if God would not have divinely interrupted my moment of a thought being spoken out loud, I'd like to see a woman in a hijab. And then an hour and a half later, going through the parking lot to leave, and I see these people, and I'm like, whoop, Tristan has no idea why I did that.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden she goes, wait, Mom, isn't that the woman that you said you wanted to see today? And I'm like, oh my God. And I literally turned around, and I'm telling you, that has changed my life. That has changed my life. Doesn't mean I'm not going to struggle with those moments again. Right? But today, it was another awakening.
You'll never forget.
Yes.
And it's like, once you get the revelation, you can't go back to the way you thought before. Because the revelation has replaced that, other reality with this.
Think about this. It's trying to actually fathom not knowing how to read when you know how to read.
Yes. Or like driving.
Yes.
You can't, I always think that. How did I not drive? Like, how could I not? Why was I terrified to drive in a neighborhood?
Yep.
Like, when I first started it, and now I, like, drive everywhere, you know?
Exactly. So when we get these revelations, they literally are it's an awakening, not just to the thing we're learning, but it's actually an awakening to him.
Yes.
It's an awakening to his heart.
Oh my gosh, that's what it was.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. Okay, so what it was is I was talking about how I was like, okay, God, I really feel like you and I are blocking. Like, we're blocking together. Like, I don't understand why when I try to reach out to you, when I try to talk to you, I'm just hitting this wall. And then I realized something, that something had happened to where I was like, I think that, like, I know that was God. And when I realized, like, that was God, I heard that it's not that he's not speaking to me, it's that I have put him on mute.
On mute.
And he's always speaking, but it's me being the awareness of tune it in. You know, I need to hear his voice. He's always speaking. He is constantly speaking to us. It's just us being aware of it. And what I'm saying for today with the obedience is for you to be aware of that.
Yes.
That thought, and you let it out. It's like he wanted us to be aware of that. That we could not leave that
parking lot.
Because I'll tell you why. Totally forgot about that thought.
You did?
Yeah. After you said it, I thought, okay, that's random, whatever. And you know, I'm moving on.
And I did too.
I'm moving on with my list.
Yeah.
But that memory, you speaking that out loud, and then me seeing that lady, it was like I just automatically remembered, Mom, didn't you say that earlier? You wanted to see a lady with a hijab? I think she has a hijab. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
oh my gosh.
And you literally went, like, you literally just turned around, like, no questions asked.
Yeah,
like,
there was no hesitation.
Went. And what's crazy is I didn't know what the inner battle you were facing.
Yeah.
And I was facing an inner battle.
Right.
You and I together, but we were doing it. Like, we literally, it was like autopilot.
Oh my gosh.
Grab the $20, there you go. You know what I mean? It was just like that. But how crazy it is that you spoke it out loud, because if you didn't, I wouldn't have known that. You know what I mean? I've been like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
This lady's out there with her kids. I've been judgmental. Like, being honest.
Me
because
too.
of how I've had those past experiences of reading those cases or seeing people do the same thing and me getting mad about it.
But what's neat is to see these little reminders, these little moments of, I love you. I love you. And I don't want you to miss out on this. But I don't want them to miss out on this either, because your obedience today is going to be so far reaching that even for her generations. And so our obedience reverberates into the generations that aren't even here yet.
Those little kids.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Planting those seeds.
Or who, maybe someone behind us. Because that guy behind us let us out of the parking lot. That's what
we were saying, though, too, is like, look, like, let's get real deep here. After we roll down up the window, I said, let's get real deep here. Not just us giving her the money, blessing her that way, but what about somebody who was around saying, like, Lord, like, if you're real, you know what I mean? You just don't know what people's conversations are. It's us catching up to what he has already done. It's us coming up to the realization, the awareness of who he is, what he's done, what he's continuing to do, and what he's going to do from now on, because he has already won the victory. Going to change, because what it says in the Word of God, and the Word of God does not return void. And it is what it is. You know what I mean? So God is always doing something, though.
Yes.
So that's who we focus on. We don't focus on the man that already knows where his destiny is.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And a lot of the time, that man isn't focused on you.
He's focused on God.
Because he's like, oh, humanity, they're screwing themselves up. Yeah. I don't really got to do nothing. All I got to do is trip here, do this, open the door here, and I'm gone.
Because his whole deal is getting back at God. So if his focus is on God, then how much more should our focus
be on God? We don't know our destiny. Okay, we don't know the destiny. You know, we don't know what the Lord has purposed us for. We get bits and pieces, but
our destiny is Him.
Yes, but the purpose that He has placed within us for this walk of life is something that's simple, that we walk in with Him, right? But
purpose is the same.
Yes.
It's this, to overcome evil with good.
Yes.
To do justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly before God. But it looks different for everyone.
Yeah.
All right, so with that said, it was a very insightful day, to say the least, on this one right here. Oh my gosh. Like, oh my Lord. So, again,
it takes a lot to be with this woman. No, I'm just kidding.
It does.
It doesn't take a lot. I'm just saying, like, not everybody could be with her.
It's okay.
And not anybody could be with me. So,
but we do well together.
But we do well together.
Better together. Okay.
I make sure she's calm.
Yes.
And she makes sure that I
have fun.
I have fun because I wouldn't have fun.
That's not true.
I really wouldn't.
Okay.
For instance, I was thinking, okay, this is the problem. This isn't the problem, but this is something that she has, which is a gift from God, but if she uses it correctly. For instance, I showed her a Pinterest picture of a hairstyle and highlights that I thought were really pretty, and I was like, you know what? I kind of think I might want to do this. Well, I go somewhere, and then I come back out. She picks me up in the car, and she's like, hurry. And I'm like, okay. And so I get in the car, and I hear this lady on the phone, but she has it on mute, and she's like, okay, so can you do 2 p.m.? And she's asking me, I'm like, what do you mean can I do 2 p.m.? She's like, oh, at the Posh Salon to get your hair done. I'm like, Mom, no, like, what are you doing? And she's like, you're no fun. Told me that I was no fun. Anyway, she was like, already planning the hair side. Like, she was literally going to get me in.
She spoke
to the hair salon.
Wants it done.
I was like,
I am here to fulfill your dream.
Because I literally was like, Mom, I just thought it was cute. I didn't say I was going to do it. I just was like, look at this cute hairstyle. And then we went to a store, and I thought, oh, I love turquoise jewelry. Just saying it haphazardly. And there was like this beautiful turquoise necklace with a turquoise ring, like in a case. But I wasn't saying I wanted that specific necklace. I was like, it's really pretty. I'm just, in general, I love turquoise jewelry. Well, like 45 minutes later, her and I meet up again at the store, and she tells me, she's like,
I embarrassed myself.
She's like,
it's at a really nice department store.
I was gonna get you that turquoise necklace. And when the lady pulled it out, and I asked how much it was, she said, what, $435?
$485.
Oh, $85.
I was like, oh gosh. I said, I'm sorry, that is above my price point.
I was like, Mom.
And she's like, Mom, I
was like, Mom,
I was just saying I wanted that.
I liked it.
I was like, oh.
I wasn't saying I wanted that specific.
I just made a fool of myself downstairs.
Could you imagine Christmas Day if you did, let's just say you were really, that wasn't smart, and you got it, and I'd be like, that's not what I like. You'd be like, are you kidding me?
It would be so
But
angry.
the thing is, she doesn't get keywords. Like, I just said, I like this look. I like this.
And she automatically
thinks, she wants it, she needs it now! It's like, no, I don't!
Wait, you're reminding me of something. We promise, I know we're rabbit trailing, but
we're about to
say
something
we're
really
about
cool.
to say something really cool. But, Dad, Tim, your dad,
like
my husband, he, will say, hey, honey, I'll be in the middle of something.
And so true.
He'll go, I'll be in the middle of something, and he'll go, hey, honey, it'd be great if you could do this. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll do it right now. And he's like, whoa.
Finish what you're doing.
I wasn't meaning now. It was just a thought.
She doesn't hear it. She just thinks, I have to do it now. It's urgent. Or it's that's what they want because they suggested it.
Yes.
No,
it's like jump and jerk,
my question is, have you been affected in a way where somebody, hinted something and you realize, you're like, oh, I think they want that.
I think it's just the way I was raised, you do it now. You know?
It's just also think too. Just one thing about her, and then we'll wrap up. Is I was thinking about how sometimes you and Dad will just be talking, and then you'll get not defensive, but you'll just start getting really passionate. But it sounds like you're directing it to him.
Yeah.
And you're like,
I start
and Dad's
but don't you understand that this and
Dad's
and he's like,
I'm not saying anything directly to you, and you're like, I'm not getting mad at you. He's like, well, why are you getting aggressive? You're like, I'm just passionate. He's like, you need to work on your delivery. Which actually, that's where I get it from.
You get it from me?
Yes.
Oh, sweet girl.
Because you're like, this is what we have to do. Why aren't we doing it like this? And he's like, I don't know. Why are you getting mad at me? It's like, I'm not. I'm just passionate. That's me. Sometimes it is directed to someone.
Oh my gosh, you guys. That's why we go, oh. Okay,
so. Moment that you all have been waiting for is the surprise that we want to share with you. Since it is our 40th episode and it's also the Christmas season, we wanted to say thank you by giving one of you an $100 Visa gift card. Now, how to enter? It's going to be through our Instagram account, O_podcast. If you're not following, make sure you're following it because we're going to be posting a picture after this episode. It's going to look like a cute little confetti picture. It says surprise contest. We're going to have a pretty good caption, witty caption, if I do say so myself, and how to enter. Go in the comments section below of that post. Put 100 as the keyword. And also to be noticed more for us to be able to enter you.
So we want to enter you more than once. If you want to be entered more than once, up to 10 times, you can.
Tag your friends. Tag your friends, and then your friends will see surprise contest. Be listening to the episode. In order to be entered into this contest, you have to listen to this full episode.
Yes.
Which, you know what, we give some good content, so I know that's not going to be torturous. I'm just kidding.
That's awesome.
So yes, that's the only thing you need to do. The deadline for this contest is December 25th, Christmas Day. It's a nice little, Merry Christmas, you got something.
Yes.
So definitely enter in, that did not make sense anyways.
Definitely enter.
Okay. The deadline for this contest ends December 25th, Christmas Day. And so definitely be looking for more updates on our Instagram and our story. This is just going to be a really fun little contest as a thank you to everyone who has subscribed, who's given us a review, who's watched, who's listened.
Okay, so listen. We got to do this too. Make sure, if you can, write a review, if you haven't done so already, on iTunes, okay? Yes. This would be so helpful. We already have 32 reviews. It's awesome. 32. You guys are so cool. So if you've already done it, great. If not, we would love it. And if you haven't done so and you want to enter, we will enter you 10 more times.
Oh,
so
I love that.
Yeah, we're just gonna go for it, right? And knowing us, we'll probably add a little something to the winner, whoever wins. I just know us. We're just crazy like that. So listen, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in to episode 40 of with Teresa and
Tristan.
We are so grateful that y'all joined us on our podcast via iTunes, Spotify, and even Stitcher.
We are really grateful for your reviews. If you haven't written one yet, please do so. We would love it. And more than anything, thank you for sharing our podcast on social media and with your friends and family.